Welcome back, everybody. Kathy Arbor here, and welcome to my studio. Today, we're going to be continuing on with the faces that we did last week. These cute little faces, but this time we're going to add them to bodies of sea creatures, I guess you could say. We'll see what we can make up. That's what we did on Tuesday. So it was the mermaid, and there is a downloadable traceable for you if you're a member on Patreon or in the YouTube membership. And for just traceables, it's $2.99 a month. So if you're interested in that, there are some links down below that you can press on and see what level you would like to be. Hi, Lena. So I thought I'd make some creatures today. And may as well stick with the Mermay edition. And just thought I would show you a few books that I have that you could. These are Dover books. And they're great because they're royalty-free images. And you could use these for all kinds of stuff. I like these as reference. I don't cut them out. I usually just print off a copy because they are royalty free. So that's that one there. And then there's a one all about women. So you could use the bodies or the heads of these too. Lots of sizes, different poses. There is a bit of nudity in here, but I'm okay with that. And then there is one for men. Xander will love it. You turn them into mermaids. Now, what do you call a male mermaid, though? Do you call it a mergent? Or what else would there be? Merlords? What do you call them? Yeah, the old times maids were like old maids, or it was to represent an older woman or an actual servant. So what would you call a male mermaid? You ever wonder that? I think of the weirdest things sometimes. So these are kind of fun too. So I thought it would be kind of neat to do one and just look at some references of different. Good question. Maybe dog is universal, below and above sea. Mermail? Yeah, maybe. No, I do have this book. This is a reef book, so it's got all kinds of weird animals, or not animals, fish and crustaceans and all sorts different things. So I thought it might be kind of cool to just get an idea of shapes or colorations of different fish, like this little guy here. He's cute. Now, most of my pictures are straight on images, so I guess I could have them turning towards you. We could make one into a crab. Some type of crab. Hey, Dar. Hi, Dot. So I thought this would be kind of fun. We could do a turtle one. That would be cool, too. These little guys are cute. I like them. I'm sneaking a look while I'm out. Oh, you're out for dinner? Lucky you. My son just came home deathly ill, so I'm hoping it's nothing bad. hasn't been anywhere for 4 days, so I don't know what it would be from, where he would have caught anything. There's an octopus one too. We could do that. Somehow. We could have that at the back of his head part. It's kind of hard for you to see these. Little seahorses too. That's a really weird looking one. Longhorned cowfish. It's an interesting shape. So, if you drew up any of the faces, you can play along with me, or you can just watch and see what I do. We could make sea anemones as part of their body too. It doesn't have to be the whole fish shape. It could be parts. These little fish, we could do some of these. They're cool. You can cut them out too. Thanks, Lena. Get fish books or download some fish books and use those and incorporate them into your pages. So we'll see what we can do. So I thought I would work on a piece of Bristol paper for this. Well, actually, here's a piece of watercolor paper. We'll just leave that. That's a thick piece. I'll just take one of these out, I think. So I'm going to cut these out. And then I can place them the way I want. All right. This is going to be fun. I like doing these. Okay, so let's see. What do they look like to you? And we can change the face a bit on them too. You don't have to keep that face. If you want, you can change them up. Let's do this guy first. Thinking about it. I'm going to cut around the shape. The link's too long. No, they'll find it. Just put the name of it, and it's easy enough to find. Okay, there's his head. Bring you guys in a little bit. Hey, Xander, we're going to make sea creatures out of the heads. It's going to be interesting. So this guy here, what would he be? I'm going to make him into a seahorse. So a seahorse, let's see if we can find one in here. Get a shape. There was one in here. Where is it? Oh, come on. I saw it in here. I hope I didn't use it. Well, that sucks. Where did I see that? Crabs. Should be in this section here. Just want to have pictures so you can see what I'm doing. Well, that's one of those dragon fishes. Someone, oh, there's some seahorses. Yeah. That's not a really good one. There was a real good one in here somewhere. His head looks to me like a seahorse head. The shape. Is that the only one? I thought there was a really good one here. I could have swore. I don't think it's there. Well, at least I can't find it. Oh well. So see, some of these have a really cute little. I wonder if their heads turn. Well, it's going to be our creature, so he can do whatever we want, right? So, and he's got little, I think they have little, maybe not. Don't they have little fins on the sides? Let's get a pencil out. Let's see. So he's got the long, so it kind of looks like a long snout of the little seahorse. So I'm going to have him turning his head. So let's see. That means if he's turning his head, his belly sticks out quite a bit. I don't know. How do they? I gotta find something. I want to see. I'm just gonna go on Pinterest for a minute. Just have to find a seahorse. Oh, really? Okay, Google. No. Seahorse. Okay. So. Okay, so curls up. And then this kind of goes like this. He's got a big belly. And they have a little fin near the base. And do they have little fins on the side? I don't know. Let's see. I'll find one. Doesn't look like it to me. I thought they would, but I guess they don't. Huh. That's interesting. All right. So that's going to be the kind of the shape. I think he needs his neck taller though. Like that. Oh dear. Hey, Tess. We're just making some creatures here. We did these last week. These are just make-believe. Yeah, we could do this like that. So it looks like he's looking. And then this one shows the belly is kind of and then they kind of have little bumps on there. Does it go all the way around? I think it does. Let's see. Some of them have spikes. Some of them have bumps. Yeah, it goes all the way around their tail. So let's give them more bumps. He looks like a bumpy old guy. And that's his fin. Let's emphasize some of this. So we'll just go like this. Take that line out. And you can either draw them up or you could make them up in paper too. I'm coming out of the bunnies and transitioning to fairies and fairy houses. Oh, awesome. I love fairies. So then they're kind of, let's see. Yeah, they kind of have bumps all around. Like, and then here, give them bumps. There. So it just makes them a little more scaly looking, I guess. I'm just going to curve that there. And then maybe got to finish the bumps on this side too. He's a bumpy kind of guy. There. It's got a pot belly. I like him. His eyes can remain like that. And they, yes. Some of them have bumps on their heads. Not all of them, though. Some of them have spikes. So I guess it would depend on we could extend this. Like that. Give them bumpy head. Okay, so I'm going to paste that down. Let's see if I got any glue stick. See what you guys are saying. Oh, this one isn't any good. Put my glue stick. Oh, there it is. You like his beard? Just use a glue stick. Glue them down. Okay, next one. I think this guy looks like a puffer fish. So let's see what we can do with him. We'll cut this guy out. So puffer fish would be, they're really round. So do we have a puffer fish in here? Guess I'll have to look on. Pufferfish. Yeah. Okay. So they have kind of a large body. Let's see. So I'm gonna bring his body out. And I'll put spikes on him. And then they have these little teeny weeny little right about there. And they have all these spikes on them. So they're kind of like oh, I think I'm going to glue his head on first before I do the spikes. And then we'll color them in. See how many we can get done. Let's see. I think that'll do. And then they have all these spikes. So, and they kind of look like rose bush thorns, actually. And they're not, well, kind of close together, I guess. But they're separate. They kind of go around the shape of the body. Let's see. And they do stick up. It's funny. Let's see. So again, it all depends on how much, how much detail you want. It's kind of a V you're doing. And you see them quite a bit on the edge too. So don't forget to do the edge. You can make them uneven too. You don't need to make them all the same. Sometimes they look a little cooler if they're over the edge. They're more concentrated along the edge, view-wise, not necessarily number, but the way you're viewing it, it'll seem like there's more along the edge than there really is. But that's just because of perspective. They do go around the shape. So it is a ball. So you just have to keep that in mind when you're doing it. To have fun, just make them up. We'll see what we can do with this guy. Yellow one there. Little spiky guy. And once the coloring's on, well, I'm going to do his head too. Tail a little smaller ones on his head. I think he's cute. Lots of veins in the fin. Or I don't know what they're called. I guess they're not veins. I don't know what they're called actually. Anyone know? Hey Kim, what do we have going on here? We are making a pufferfish out of the head. We're making some creatures for Mermay. Why not? About her. I think I'll make her into one of those long ones, long fish with a multicolored body. So we can put her back down here, I think. Should fit. So we'll just make her into, we're kind of doing some side profile fish, so to speak. Yeah, I saw your score on, they were talking about it at Colleen's. Let's see. Just looking at my book. See if there's any of these guys in here. The long fish that I want. Let's see, I think we'll have her fin kind of goes out. The tail is kind of right there, but it kind of goes, that's fairly good. That. And do they have a dorsal fin? Just looking at a page here. Oh, they do, kind of back here. Like that. Let's see. Like that. And very sleek. Well, I guess that one doesn't have attached. More like this. And then that can go like this. So it looks like that's her head. So she's kind of turning. Like that. And then they've got kind of a stripe of purple that runs down their one side. Like that. And the rest of them is orange. Actually, this could be bigger. Like that. They're fun to do. And then you can cut them out or print them off and use them in your daily journals or scrapbook or whatever you're arting in. They're fun. And it's very simple, so there's no stress because it's just made up. So it's fun to do that. Just make up a bunch of funny creatures. All right, now of one of these, what can we do? I like this guy. Let's do this guy. He looks sad. I think this one's going to be a face-on one, and I think put him here. He looks like maybe, well, even something like this, you could do that. Let's try that. Just this. Head on. So we could point the head a little more, and then like this. And then we'll use his ears as the place to put the, it's kind of hard to see, but that one needs to be bigger. Put a little bit of a wave in it so it looks like he's moving. And then you kind of see his tail behind there, but I don't know if you'd really need that. Let's see what other ones we have here. Yeah, you don't really notice the tail a whole lot, so I don't think you really need it. It still looks like a fish. Is there any face on? Yeah, I think that's good. So then the way the lines go will show if there's any wave in the fin. I don't know if you can see that. Make it a little darker. Dorsal, or what, I don't know. Dorsal fins? No, I don't know what they're called. You kind of see it going like that. All right. So there's 4. So now this is mixed media paper, so I could use pretty well, or no, not mixed media, Bristol paper. So I could use pretty well any kind of media. So what do you think we should use? Any suggestions? Paint or colored pencil? I have watercolor. I do have some markers, but not a lot. Thanks, Kim. So now we have to color them. think I'll use my watercolors. So then I can go back over top of these and change them if I have to, as far as the color. So let's, this guy here, we can hard to say something, water soluble. Yeah. Just pen over it. Well, yeah, you could put pen over it. We could do gouache too. I have a bit of gouache, not much, but we could use gouache. I might mix a little gouache in some of them, make the certain areas pop out. So on this one here, I'll show you what the fish looks like. So this is kind of an orangey color. So we could see a little pyro orange with some of this yellow here. And body is that color. So we could always go back over top with other colors too. And there's a little bit of that in there. Top fin. And then the yellow, I'm just going to put a little yellow on his chin, just to incorporate. And then a little bit of that orange on the sides of his cheeks. See, and it bright yellow on these fins. I think that was the Indian yellow. That. And around his eyes, actually, kind of, I'm going to do his mouth, some of this yellow, and his nose. Just go around the top of the eye, the eyelids. Like that. And that's kind of a greeny color on the top part. It's almost muddy looking, but let's do some fun green color in that. We can always add more, darken up that color a little bit. Dirty it up. It's kind of muddy looking actually. Then we'll take some maybe some gouache. Let's see, get my white gouache out and the lid. I'm gonna mix it in. I've just got some paint, plain white gouache here. And we'll add kind of a bit of dirty color to it. Let's take some of this and mix right here. And kind of this Daniel Smith green appetite would probably work. Just make it dark. When you're playing with gouache and watercolor, make sure you rinse your brush out when you have gouache on it before you dip it back into your watercolor. So you don't want to wreck your watercolors by putting the gouache in, especially if it's a gouache that's acrylic gouache, because then you'll ruin your paint. Okay, let's see what that guy looked like again. So I'm going to bring that around his eyes, around and down, like that. And then I'm going to make some of that bright yellow. We need some bright yellow in this one here, just to brighten that up. Let's see if this works. So kind of highlights on the top of his eyes. And down his nose. We can put his nose back in. Let that dry. And I'm going to put that orangey color in the fins. I'm going to put a little bit of orange with that. I want this a little bit brighter, but I think I'm going to have to whiten it. Okay. Let that part dry. Let's put a little more of that orange on this one. You could use all kinds. You could make these out of paper if you wanted to. Different colored paper. That'd be cute. Darker around the edge. A little bit more. And a little bit of a brighter color. Looks like down the sides of this. Like that. And a little darker underneath, give them some dimension. We could also use colored pencil for this too. I know I get too fussy, but you don't have to get this fussy. You do what you enjoy doing. If it's less detail, then put less detail. This is your own creation, so don't make it a chore. I'll put a little bit redder in here. And a little bit of that yellow just on here. That. Have a bit of a shine on his head. Just right there. Just around his eye sockets. And then I can put a little bit of that orange right here under his nose. So we bring that back out with that. And his mouth. You could put black too. We can put some of that in later. All right, let that dry. All right. Let's do this one up here. Pufferfish is kind of a darker color on the top. So we could do, they're kind of brown color. They're nothing crazy. Actually, let's put some water. Let's see how this paper works with wet into wet. And we'll drop in some brown. Well, it's not bad. Moves. That's pretty good. I'll just color him in a little bit with the brown too. And his head too, I think. I'll put that in also. I'm gonna wet it. Make his head a little bit brown. And then we'll go in with colored pencils or marker. I think we'll keep his cheeks fairly puffy. And then the bottom are usually a little bit on the lighter side, more of a cream color. We could put a little bit of yellow in, I guess. Just a smidge, brighten it up a little bit. Like I said, they're your fish. You can make them whatever color you want. Let's see what color. Some yellow maybe on his fins. Sure. Okay. And I'm going to make just a few marks on the spikes. Okay, maybe a little bit more under his chin, a little darker. Okay, we'll let that dry. And this young lady is one of those pink purple fish. So I'm going to have her body this pink color. This actually works really well with watercolor. I'm actually quite surprised. The paint moves quite nice, and it sits on top a little bit, but not crazy. darker on the top, I think. And now look at that. You can really, I like this paper. Oh, that's that Canson Bristol. 96 pound. That is nice paper. Doesn't buckle. Nice. Something to think about. And I'm going to do her purple streak that comes out here. And it's just going to go into the pink, but that's fine. And then, let's see, purple? Sure. Fins can be a light purple. Got a little bit extra there. Here. And I'm going to have her purple on here too. This is her side fin. I'll have to put some veining or whatever it is. Up here. So you don't have to make bodies for mermaids. They can be all kinds of things. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like this paper. And we could, let's see, could give her cheeks a little more pink and her ears. Here, a little bit of a pinky. We could give her purple lipstick. Look at that. That paper is great. Wow. All right, so this dude, color should we do him? The sky's the limit on this one. Seahorses are all kinds of colors. I've seen them blue, I've seen them green, red. See what that was in here. Oh, it's in here, I think. Just a minute, I gotta check this out. Seahorse. Or actually, I'll just go there. Okay. So they're yellow with black spots. They're purple. They're orange. They're kind of a muddy color. White and yellow. Red and yellow. Green and orange. That's kind of cool. I like that green and orange one. Okay, let's do a green and orange one. So it's mostly he's blotched, kind of. They're kind of blotchy. So it's a kind of a almost bright leaf green, but a little bit on the blue side. So let's mix a little bit. It's aqua. Let's just dot. And then a real nice orange. See what it does. Have to be careful, but as long as we don't play with it too much, it shouldn't go to mud. I like how it bleeds into each other when you leave it alone. You get some really cool colors. And then we'll just let this bleed into the tummy area. Maybe a little bit of aqua in there. And then the fin, usually they're fairly transparent. There's not a whole lot of color in them. Let's do something with the top of his head. Down his nose. Sop some of that up. You can go crazy. Just give him that bluish nose. There. Okay, let those dry. Was I under the camera? Cool. Oh, we need little bumps on his head too. Let's put those in. Let's do those this orange color. Some of these here. All right, let's dry him now. Great. You're funny. Here's my little fish. Let's see what else we can do with these guys. So I got my colored pencils beside me. And let's see. Make it a little, it's not dark enough. Let's give him a little bit more bigger eyes. And his nostrils. And a little bit of his lip here. And he's got kind of a downward smirk going. And I'm just going to use the black for now. This one. Give her eyebrows a little bit more. Anything on him. Just make his mouth going down like this. Okay. Now we could put let's see, orange. Let's see what we got here. Just brighten this up a little bit. Make the stripes come out. And I think this needs to be darker. Let's get a little bit of a darker color. You could actually go into a reddish shade. This one's Tuscan Red. It's usually a good color to show shadow when you're going over top of skin tone or any color that's got an orange hue to it. Just a little bit in there. Bright yellow. Brighten that up a little. His nose. His lip. The center line would be darker or a little bit lighter. The top of his head. Could actually use white. And maybe brighter yellow in here. Tops of his eyelids. His cheeks. giving it some shadow. Yeah, that's good. What do you think? It almost looks like there should be. Now I can highlight too with some Posca. This one is purples and I'm gonna sharpen it. Not a good one. Yeah, rotten pencil. Hate that. Just put some lines down so it kind of looks like the fin ribs. I don't know what they're called. A little darker under there. I think they go down this way. That, and then a little bit of white over top, just to get rid of the greeniness. Just smooths it out when you use your white or a lighter color on top. And then a pink. It's kind of a coral shade. So let's see what we can find here. That one's close, I think. Just a little darker, some areas, just to show that she's not totally flat. And then a light pink usually works. Go over top. He looks pregnant. I don't know. They've got their own beer over there, I think. Let's make her cheeks a little more rosier. And maybe her nose is rosy. Her ears are rosy too. There. And we'll put some highlights on these too. This puffer fish. Need brown. And I'm just gonna kind of darken some areas. Around those prickles. I don't want to color the tips though, so you can leave those. Kind of blotchy looking. And then I'll go back and put some highlights on the tips. Like that. And his head. Be a little bit darker. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit on here. Just in the closest to the body. Like that. And then let's get a pen. Just do some very ends of these prickles. You can do them black. That way they're more defined when you tip them like this, and then we can go back in and I should say I can go back in and put in highlights too. This one did have these little prickle things, almost like a porcupine. fun to do. It's just something to do to get a creative playtime. You need that nowadays. At least I do. I don't know about you guys, but I need that. It soothes me. With all the silliness going on in the world. It's always nice to play for a little bit, forget all about it. Hey, Carol. They're my imaginary fishies. Maybe they're fairy fish. I don't know. They're mermaids. Lena and I were trying to figure out what's a male mermaid. Is it a mermaid or is it mermale? Or is it a mergent? What is it? Merman? Could be. Lena seemed to think because it's kind of like dog. You call one thing a dog, you don't specify the gender. Which very well could be. Sounds good to me. Just coloring the tips. Let's see. Some of these. Oh, one's on its head. They're smaller. Little spikes. Here. Give his eyes a little bit more darkness. Kind of looks cross-eyed. Yeah. All right. Then, I guess we could put a few in there too. Just darken that up. And then, let's see what we can do with the white. Gonna work. Give him a little bit of a brow. I think I'm gonna need, yeah, a white. So white Posca. And he's gonna be and then I'm gonna put just a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. Just underneath that black mark. See if I need it or not. Put a few in. More or less on the top, I think. Don't think we need anything on the bottom. Don't want to puddle. What do you think? I don't think you'll notice it if I put it on the bottom. Oh dear. Let's put a little bit of a highlight on her. Little nose. And this guy, some on his nose and some on his bumps. Maybe a little bit on the forehead here. His cheeks. belly. I might have to It's a few, I think. I don't know how are they smooth and shiny? I don't know. Let's put a few on these top bump areas. Sometimes they do have polka dots though. I think I need some green. Aqua. Let's see. Green. Let's see what this will do. Brighten them up a little bit. A little bit in here. Put some green in his beard. That and maybe in the fin like that, and then some of this orange. Around his eyes a little bit. Maybe in the belly. Some darker areas, shadows. Just give him a little bit of dimensional look to him. This is just blending these in a little bit with the yellow. The yellow will brighten up the orange and the green. And maybe a bit of white. Does it make a difference or not? Maybe not. A little bit. Just that little bit of highlight. It's not much. It just causes the that. And a little bit of Posca. Poor guy. He looks sad. I think I'm going to put some brown in the darks of his eyes. Make it a little more dark in there. And then the whites of his eyes a little bit. There. I think he's done. What do you think? I think they're fun. Can you do horses? Yeah, I can do anything. You just draw it. For me, it's all about shapes and using a grid if you're not too sure. I think they look cool. Those are my poor little guys. So all started with a little face. So that's what we did last week. Made up a bunch of faces. So that was just a swipe of a paintbrush to get the initial shape. And then you just drew your faces on, and then we cut them out and we made them into creatures. So you could make more of this. Like I could put big feet on these guys. It's endless, really. But I thought it would be fun just to make them into fish. Mermen, or mermaid, whatever you want to call them. So that was fun. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend, everybody. I hope you'll give this a try. It's a lot of fun. There's no stress on whether it's right or wrong. There is no right or wrong with these things. Yeah. You just never know how you can change them up, really. Where did I put that book? Didn't see my book. It must be upstairs. Yeah, I did one with flowers last year. I don't see my book down here though. So it must be upstairs. So just play with stuff. Like it's fun, and there's no wrong way of doing them. Just have fun with it. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. Have a fantastic creative weekend, and we'll see you here on Tuesday. Have a good one, everyone. Bye for now.